Hello, Dr. Miaken of Monarch Family Chiropractic. Thank you for joining me today as we talk about how we can support thriving moms. And as we sit with thinking about our mom or uh, being a mom is literally giving life. There is so much research around the importance of mom being connected, mom establishing the foundation of health and well-being for the entirety of the lifetime of her children. Just in those first 3 years, there's so much demand. And so tonight's workshop is really looking at how can we support uh, our moms thriving. And if you're in a place where you can just sit and close your eyes, I want you to picture this moment. There once was a mother who woke up each morning before the sun, her feet already heavy with the weight of her to-do list. She moved through the day in a haze, giving every ounce of herself, soothing tears, packing lunches, juggling work, wiping counters, answering endless why questions, her love endless, but her energy fading. One afternoon, while tying her toddler's shoes, she realized she hadn't taken a full, deep breath all day. Her shoulders were tense, her mind scattered. In that moment, her child looked up with wide eyes and asked, "Mommy, are you happy?" The question stopped her heart because deep down she knew she wasn't just tired, she was running on empty. That night, she promised herself something different. She started waking up 5 minutes earlier to stretch and breathe, and she learned to pause when overwhelmed. She even danced with her kids in the kitchen again. Slowly, her spark returned, and with it, her laughter, patience, and joy. What changed, not the chores, the demands. What changed was her decision to thrive, not just survive. And as she began to fill her own cup, the whole atmosphere of her home shifted. Her children felt safer, her partner felt more connected, and even the family dog seemed happier. Because this is what we know, when a mother thrives, her entire family flourishes. Her alignment, peace, vitality ripple out like sunshine through every corner of her home. Think of that mom, and it could very well be you. But if a mom is not okay, the family is not okay. When mom is not happy, when mom's cup is empty, the family feels it. It's in the energy. And so we have to, like they say on the airplanes, we have to put our oxygen mask on first before we can help others. Because if we are not well, then there's no way we can be well for our family. So tonight is really talking about how can we thrive together. Self-care and alignment for moms and in motion, moms who are active, moms who are raising kiddos, and be a model for those children that we are raising. So our goal is thriving, not just surviving, because moms are the heart of the home. And I love the idea of your well-being ripples through your family. Again, when your cup is full, it impacts your children, your spouse, and your entire world. So we really look at health in the chiropractic world as an inside-out process. Again, we look at how was the body created at conception when two cells became one, then two, then four, then 8, then 16, 32, 64, so on and so forth. It was a spark of life, of this intelligence that is you. And so we look at health as an inside-out process, right? There's nothing from the outside in that our bodies need for the knowing that it knows to heal. And so as chiropractors, we honor the innate intelligence that is within all of us, that is expressing health and vitality to the level that it is able to do. And that is really what today is about, is looking at how can we honor this inside-out process and honor our innate intelligence to have a higher expression of health. So let's start with talking about alignment, right? Our structure is where our entire body is housed. And so, again, as chiropractors, we're looking at your brain and nervous system. Nervous system, your brain was the first organ to form in utero, and from your brain came every cell, gland, organ, tissue in the body. And your brain and nervous system, is supported by our structure. So if we have poor structure, it creates a feedback loop to our nervous system in terms of how we're able to adapt and respond to our world. And so if our structure is under stress, guess what? Our brain is under stress. And if our brain is under stress, we're less able to regulate stress responses. It impacts our digestion, immune function, and our emotional balance. And we have to look at the moms as really the anchor for our kiddos. Our kiddos, depending on their age, are not able to regulate their nervous systems. And they really look to mom to help regulate them. So when mom comes alongside them, they are really able to help regulate based on mirroring mom. So again, indicating the level of importance for mom to have a good support system and self-care to keep a cup full so that she can, deliver what she needs to deliver in terms of being a mom, which is everything to those kiddos. So when we're talking about power of alignment, we're looking at how from the inside are you supporting your nervous system. And there's ways we can do that, which we'll get into, but we're going to focus right now on posture. Posture affects your energy, your mood, your resilience. So if you were to just do an exercise with me, if you were to just round your shoulders, really hunch forward, try and take a deep breath in, try and, experience a happiness or a joy within your body here versus stand tall, shoulders back, take a deep breath in. Different experience, right? With that breath right there, you can see the physiological change that happens when you just immediately change your posture. But then see how open you are to experience a higher state of an emotion, maybe like joy, or maybe you feel like, okay, I could laugh right now and be more playful here versus being here. And what we find in terms of the nervous system is when we're in this forward flexed posture and it's really a protective survival mode. So when we're in survival, guess what? We're not thinking about things that make us happy and want to bring joy and laughter into our space. We're thinking about, what needs to happen in the next space? How can I literally survive? So what are strategies that we can do throughout our day to be checking in with our posture? And I mean, I think it is just a reminder of how can you stack your joints, right? Your ear should go over your shoulder, right? So you're going to stack your ear over your shoulder. You're going to bring your shoulder blades back and you're going to check in with where your pelvis is, right? And you are just going to stack yourself. And you can check with your pelvis, right? Do you need to bring your pelvis in or forward? Sometimes I see a major forward shift happening with our pelvis. So we just need to pull that pelvis in, stack that pelvis, the shoulders, shoulder blades back, shoulders down, and ears over shoulder. And it's a different experience. So if you have kids around, you can make it a game, right? Let's play the statue game. Who can stand tall and have a strong posture and who can maintain that? Or we think of a power stance, right? When we think of, Superman, how do they stand? Chest is open, hands are on their hips, and they are proud of who they are. And it's a powerful stance. So you can say, let's stand like a superhero. How long can we stand in this posture? And it's just these posture cues that you can have throughout your day. Just open it up and just be connected to what's happening in your body. It can be simple things. Um, and movement is life. I mean, movement is medicine, but I'll say even more powerful than that is life, and movement is life. It nourishes our spine, it improves circulation, helps balance our nervous system. So depending on how we're moving or not moving, again, is a feedback loop of telling us how our brains are better able to regulate but also brings life into our body or takes it away. So I would have you think, the statue game and stacking your posture is a macro movement. Okay, you can think of micro movement. So how can you move your spine um, in a more specific way to really connect with micro movements or segmental movements? That's where a cat-cow stretch is really nice, where you're on all fours and uh, on the ground, and you're just rounding and dropping your pelvis down and extending, rounding and extending of your spine in a crawling posture. Or you could stand and do spinal twists or pelvic tilts, dropping your pelvis in, make um, tucking your pelvis, your tailbone under and back, or neck circles, ranges of motion, anything to connect you to a more specific or micro segmental movement, and clue your brain and just awareness to that. And that's going to highlight and emphasize any move you do. There's a difference between just kind of mindlessly, consuming something, whether it's social media, it's TV, it's reading a book and doing motions, versus really connecting to your body and going through those motions. Very different. Then you can start to see, oh, where am I feeling tension and tightness? How can I breathe and work into that motion? Can I work into that motion a little bit differently? Instead of going into just flexion extension, can I do some lateral movements while I'm doing my cat-cow, and just really connect and see how you feel with your body. When you think about these movements, if you have kiddos, you can play games, animal walks. Let's walk like a bear or a crab, jump like a frog. How does, a ladybug move, right? Or you can just put on a fun song and have a dance break. Get silly, just move your body with how it feels good. You could create obstacle courses using pillows and furniture. And I would say getting outside and doing a daily walk, whether it's just around your yard, um, creating patterns in your yard, playing follow the leader, um, or going around the block. I think when you think about these simple tools to start reframing, these activities in terms of more self-care for you, and it can be fun for your kiddos. It helps regulate your system, to really help improve and enhance connections you're having. So breathe for calm and energy. Breath connects your body and mind. It is one of the simplest ways to reset your nervous system. When you breathe in and then you breathe out, you want your breath on the exhale to be longer. It's actually stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest nervous system. So that's going to down regulate your nervous system. That's where when you do the Om and that long exhale, can really regulate your nervous system nicely. I had a really upset kiddo in the car seat for about 15 minutes, and stresses you out. I know every mom has been there. This get angry and angrier as you go. And I just put on some Om music. I started oming myself with the music, and it really helped regulate my nervous system. Even though she was still crying, she actually calmed down after a few minutes of this. I'm not saying that's going to happen every time. But when I was better regulated, I was just in a better state to pay attention while I'm driving, get home and be tuned into my kiddo, not in a stress way, but okay, I can connect you, I can help you regulate your system. So, so I didn't even have this on the PowerPoint, but putting on an audio where you can follow along with the breath or do some ohms can be really wonderful. So I have box breathing. So you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4, and you hold for 4. So you just think about yourself as inhaling, holding, exhaling, holding. Or what we talk about, especially when we're talking about vagal tone and stimulating your vagus nerve, which is your cranial nerve 10. It goes throughout the entire body. is 5-7-8 breathing. So you inhale for 5, you hold for 7, and then you exhale for 8. That's been shown to have some really nice vagus nerve input, which again helps regulate your nervous system, helps you better respond to stress, can impact digestion. I mean, it goes to every organ in the body, so it can impact all of those things. And I would just, when we get stressed, we start to breathe from our chest. We're meant to breathe from our belly into our diaphragm. So I would challenge you, can you practice some diaphragmatic breathing where you put your hand on a belly, hand on your chest, and see if you can think about blowing up a balloon into your belly. Have that breath and that hand that's resting on your belly raise before your chest raises. Or see if you can, just keep that air right in the belly. So if you were ever trained as a singer, we find that, singers really know how to breathe and breathe deep into their diaphragm because they need a big breath to deliver their notes. So the benefits of breath, in addition to supporting calm and energy, is just reducing stress, centering your emotions, and oxygenating your tissue. So, I mean, I put it in bold, supports a better nervous system regulation for you and your kiddos. Ways to do this with kids, because kids don't always understand the breath work, depending on their age, is you can blow bubbles together. This encourages long and controlled exhales. You can blow up pretend candles. I can, when my kiddo has been old enough in the car seat and really stressed, I'll say, Margot, hold up your finger, pretend it's a candle on your birthday cake, blow it out. Okay, do it again. And so when they start to learn to breathe and they see you helping regulate during times of stress, they're going to start modeling that. And, once they see that and they've done that, then they start doing that on their own, which is pretty cool. Another way is you could make a game of it. So take a feather or cotton ball and see how fast you can blow it across the table, or maybe make it a relay if you have multiple kids. So there's ways if you need to practice your breathing, get the kids in there doing their breath work through a cotton ball race, and you take some time to do your breathing too. So rituals for grounding. Consistent self-care rituals signal safety to your nervous system. And I will tell you what is the most important thing for your nervous system to be able to adapt in a really healthy way is if you feel safe. If you feel unsafe, then you are going to be hypervigilant. You are going to be ready to respond to a stress. You are going to be in survival mode. So you really need to support a nervous system feeling safe, especially around your kiddos, so that they can feel safe. So again, I would say that's tuning into, your morning and your body. So you can do an easy morning spinal warm up. And that can just be going through your spinal ranges of motion. We test you every time you do a re-exam on your ranges of motion, right? Turning right to left, bending right to left, and then flexing and extending. And you do that through each region of the spine. And when you're doing this, even if you could set a timer for 3 minutes and just close your eyes, connect your body, and just see how it feels to turn right to left. Do you have any stiffness? Tension, is one less than the other? Do you feel like you need to go into motion more in one of those ranges than the other? I think a great grounding ritual would be gratitude journaling with kids at bedtime. What was your favorite part of today? What did you find challenging? What did you enjoy? Is there something you wanted to share with me that maybe I missed out on? Practicing this early on, this reflection, and doing it together in a very connected way can be very powerful. And you can start to, set yourself up to be more grounded before you head to bed, and your children too. And I would be, if I didn't mention chiropractic care, then it would be a big mistake, because that is what we do. We help regulate your nervous system through adjustments. When that happens, you become more grounded in who you are. You become more connected. You become more connected here, to be more connected here, and to be able to be more connected with the people around you. And you look at immediately, that is your kids and that is your spouse. And so you being under regular chiropractic care and that cumulative impact over time is going to have massive benefits on your health and well-being. So kudos to you for being consistent there, choosing to start care, be under care, and share that with people you know. So when you incorporate chiropractic care, we restore alignment, which optimizes your nervous system to enhance your resilience and your ability to adapt to your outside world. The biggest thing is, we are not moving bones. We are influencing your brain and how your brain processes. Moms are under a lot of stress. There's a lot of demands. And it is 100% of the time. There is no taking breaks from being mom. And so as the cornerstone of the family and being home and being the primary caregiver, especially for these young ages, there's just demands that I don't think are well understood if you've never been a mom. I certainly didn't understand it and appreciate it until I became a mom. And the physical demands, the emotional and mental demands, and how your kiddos are just looking to you. And so just got to make sure that you are taken care of too. So that's where kudos to the moms who are choosing to get chiropractic care and showing up. And who do you know that needs the support, like you need the support? Our goal is to support the whole family. So not only do moms need care, but we also need to look at how are our kiddos doing. We specialize in, yes, prenatal, pregnancy, postnatal care, and we specialize in babies and kids, but we are a family practice, and we really want to create a healthy community that, is reaching all ages. And why do we care about that? Because we want healthy kids. Right now our kids are the unhealthiest they've ever been in any generation when you look at it. And so if we can start supporting healthy brain development from the start of life, and we find that parents who make healthy choices are raising kiddos who make healthy choices. And when you're starting to get adjusted, you start to have more capacity to, number one, think more clearly, and start making different decisions when it comes to health. And that is a layered component, health. There's so many different layers of getting into the physical, mental, emotional, chemical components of how your life and world create health. So we don't want just as you age, a healthy chronological age. We want you to have a biological age that maybe doesn't even match your chronological age. Maybe you're 70, but you're operating as a 55-year-old. But we want to grow healthy kids. And we want kids who are going to thrive as well. And so we see a lot of kiddos in the office. If you are a mom and you're interested in getting your kiddos checked, we would just love to check them. Posture is a great way to assess how their brain and nervous system is doing. If there's increased demand on their brains, they have different tools to help manage that increased demand. And it looks like, behavioral stuff sometimes. It looks like tendencies to kind of like ADHD tendencies where they got to touch everything to help process the world. They got to move their bodies. They don't regulate well, and they go into anger easily. So we can help with that. And then chiropractic care, again, helps with healthy posture, helps with balance, helps with sleep. So all of those important aspects of life and supporting health. So take action, simple, sustainable steps. I think the first thing is just, choosing how can I have better tools to access to support self-care. And we just put together this really simple graphic. We're going to print some off. They're going to be in the office if you want to pick one up and just put it on the fridge so it'll give you a reminder of what you can do in the morning, midday, or evening that is just going to support your self-care. Can you just pick 1 to 2 daily practices that's around posture and alignment, or around movement, around breath work, around grounding, to help fill up your cup? Again, it doesn't need to be a long-term process. And take 30 minutes of your time. It's just these little snippets during your day to circle back to, how am I feeling? Let's get connected, do some breath work, help regulate my system so that then that helps regulate your kids. Be consistent with your chiropractic care. When you are consistent and you have that cumulative impact of healthy connection, that really does, over time, have a massive impact on your ability to be a mom, your ability to connect, your ability to manage more demands, and be the mom you want to be in those times. And then I would say, invite your kids into the process with any of these, any of them. The more you can teach them tools, the more they'll start to do it on their own when they're, when they're when it's modeled in that way. But we came up with some really great mantras that I think, if at any point, and they're on this document that we'll have printed off, if at any point you just need to do some breathing and just speak to yourself, whether it's closing your eyes and saying it and really integrating it into your nervous system, or saying it to the mirror. With each breath, I return to balance, grateful, grounded, and aligned with divine well-being. As I care for myself with love and intention, I elevate the health and harmony of my entire family. I am whole, I am worthy, and I am deeply loved just as I am. So, those were 3 mantras or affirmations that we came up with. You want to take one of those or all of those, or make up your own, just to reinforce, that you are worthy, you are enough, and you are deserving of self-care and love. So remember the mom I shared with you at the start of our time together, the one who realized she was giving so much of herself that there was almost nothing left for her. She's not just a story. She's many of us. She's the woman juggling kids, work, home relationships, and often she's the last person on her own list. What if instead of waiting until exhaustion sets in, we choose a different path? What if we decide that thriving is essential and not optional? That when we are aligned in body, mind, and heart, we're not just better mothers, we become the calm, joyful, vibrant women our families need. That's where chiropractic comes in. Regular chiropractic care helps restore your body's alignment so your nervous system can do what it was beautifully designed to do: heal, regulate, and thrive. It's not just about pain relief, it's about fully expressing your potential and modeling self-care for your children. So this is my challenge to you, because mom, you deserve to feel aligned, strong, and vibrant. It's not selfish, it's essential for you and your family. So most of the moms who are listening to this, you are already under care. I love that. I'm so grateful that you are putting yourself as a priority. And who do you know that you can share this with? The less moms out there who are totally strapped and, working on an empty tank of gas, the less of those moms we have, the better off we are. We need moms who are thriving and able to support the health and well-being of the next generation. And so we love to connect. We love to just do checks to see if somebody is the right fit for the practice. If they feel like our philosophy aligns with, what they're looking for in terms of their health and their health care. The worst thing we can hear is, I wish I would have known this. I think oftentimes we just, again, put ourselves last, and we get a little disconnected with how we're really feeling. And when this conversation comes up and we start to really sit with, how am I doing? What is going on? Is this where I, had seen my health going? Is this where I want to be? A lot of times I think we all can say we want to be better. We want to do better. We want to do that for ourselves. We want to do that for our families. So we love you, moms. We love everybody. But we are sure appreciative and grateful for our family that we have and our family of moms. So I hope that this gives you just some easy strategies and tools throughout your day that you can start looking to say, hey, I'm doing it. When you show up for your chiropractic adjustment, guess what? You're doing it, and check it off your list. So go ahead and pick up one of those in the office, and we look forward to seeing you in the office and connecting with you and your family and the extended family of yours, your friends and community. So, Dr. Miaken of Monarch Family Chiropractic, and we'll see you in the office.